Hello, everybody, and welcome to this recording of First in Series for Francesco Manenti from Italy. We have a composer, and I'm your host, Nicholas Haffter von Heide, with the International Euphonium Summit Living History Series. And Francesco is good friends with two of our cohort at the moment of this recording, Miss Marina Bozelli and Matteo Tundo. Welcome to the stage in this series, Francesco Manenti.
Hello, and thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm so happy to be here. And yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. So take us on the journey of Francesco. When did you start with music?
Uh, I started consciously, I must say, consciously. I started maybe at 5-6 years old, and this is not my direct memory, but my parents said that I just went on the piano in our living room, and I asked for a CD to play on the stereo, and I just started improvising on that, maybe in an awful way, clearly, for a 5-year-old child, and then I just continued to ask for that, and then my parents decided to find a private teacher for piano lessons, and then from I think 6-7 years old, I just started study piano here near my house.
That's cool. So, did you have a keyboard, or was it kind of like a stand up, like a Steinway or any of the?
I have a digital piano, and in my parents' living room there was this digital piano who is my father's digital piano, because my father was a musician, and even if I didn't see him in action, because he was a musician in his youth, and then music has always been part of our house.
That's cool. And did so kind of cheating ahead, as I would probably classify it as, was jazz and blues part of your childhood then?
I grew up with a lot of rock
Rock.
and progressive rock, a bit of blues, and jazz not so much. And I didn't uh, dive deep into jazz things. It is quite a genre I studied, but not I practice so much. Yeah.
Okay, so going back to 7 or so years of age and learning piano, what was it like with progressing with piano at your house and your parents listening? Did did you have any like recitals or kind of opportunities to compose at that age as well?
No, it was for me at that age. It was primarily an hobby, not something so serious as it is now. So studying piano at that age was like it was like just a game for me, and my teacher was really nice for that, because we just played together, and it was something like playing and learning, maybe in a slower way uh, than people who just start with the idea of becoming a musician. But for me, it was very important. It was something I consider very important in my life, or at that age, and it is more of it now. And it was just playing and stuff. And my father, he was it's just a spoiler, but he was a brass player in his youth. So, but he took also piano lessons, and it was like playing with him. also. And then my parents wanted me to go to the conservatory, to the music academy, but I didn't want it. I said I don't want to go. For me, it was more like a playing, and I didn't got well with classical music. For me, it was not so fun to play. So we, with my teacher, we went to some strange stuff and also pop and rock music from early on.
On piano.
Yeah.
Okay, so was it okay? So at what year was the talk of going to the conservatoire uh, um, being brought into your life?
It's right. Many years later,
Okay,
uh,
so
I was 18.
oh, okay, many years later.
Yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
so I kind of want to dive back into your upbringing. For those that haven't listened to the podcast segment, kind of clue you in on the conversation that we had beforehand. Not to mention all the cool stuff he showed behind the scenes here. Your adventure and hobby, well, kind of outside of the music realm, you were into go karting and motocross. When did that stuff start in your life?
I was 11 years old, and a friend of mine, a girl, surprisingly a girl, did motocross, and then she was a friend and a classmate, and we just started go together with motocross here near in my little town in some places here in my little town, and also in a couple of tracks. And yeah, it started like that because my father, yeah, as I said, he is a mechanic, and
Okay, so he's not just a mechanic. It's a really cool story, y'all. So if you get the chance, I'll leave the links below, especially on Francesco's site on our platform. All the links will be listed below. So yeah, not just a mechanic. Pretty awesome.
he almost was a racing car driver.
Mhm.
And yeah, this was a passion he shared in my family. So I grew up in his shop, and yeah, first was motocross, then was go-karting, and yeah, my father was like a mentor for this, and we went in a couple of tracks, and yeah, it was it was really a great part of it. And his experience in this was quite quite important in my music history, because we had two like mirrored path. He started from music and became a mechanic, and I started from I want to be a mechanic, a racing car driver, and then I became a composer. But he always said that his musical skills, like having a good ear, a very good ear, and having the ability to listen to every detail, was a thing that was very useful in his job. He specialized himself in historical car restoring, and for that you need to have these precise hearing for every little sound, so everything really works in the better way for the car and for the longevity of the car. And so he took his musical skills and used it for his job, and I took all I could learn from his job and put in mine.
Okay, so there's some really cool dynamics that are happening behind the scenes. I kind of want to see if the ideas are in line, in tune, so to speak. By chance, as you were learning piano and stuff like that, when you first started with motocross and doing the races and stuff like that, and racing on the tracks, especially with your friends, Did that open up the opportunity? Did you notice any clearing of your mind? So when you did the races, that cleared your mind from all the music that you've learned up to that point and just allowed you to open up your mind to new perspectives?
Yeah, it was like a background working for this, because in those years uh, I I'm also today very passionate with all action sports, freestyle BMX, freestyle motocross. And yeah, when I was at that age, I looked at these crazy guys who were doing all this crazy stuff with motocross. And I remember this was a very fun speaking with my father, and he said, Francesco, I want you to go safe, and you need to bring your bike under your body, and you have to stay on the ground. I don't need you to do all jumps and crazy stuff, and all all I wanted was to do the crazy stuff. But I didn't I didn't tell him at that age. And then this this at that stage was just a different thing for music. It was something that just was a real adrenaline, as you can imagine, and it started to become more present nowadays, where I see my work as a composer as a freestyle discipline. I take a lot of these mindset, these in my when I give like composition lesson, or I do some master classes about composition, I always say that I work on the edge case. So it is this limit, which is adrenaline, but in music stuff, and I took from it the way you just push the limit every time a step further. So this was a sort of yeah, I recognized it later, not at that age, but they were very important years in my musical studies. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, what was your next instrument beyond piano that you picked up, and what age was that?
I started with guitar, acoustic guitar, and it was in I was 12, 13. Yeah, it was a lot of things concentrated in those years. I started also with guitar, and then I started drums very in it was, I think I was 20, so yeah, not so near from guitar. Yeah.
That's cool. So, putting all the stuff together and starting motocross, go karting at 13, guitar, did that kind of persona of biking and kind of the freestyle and the persona that many kind of associate motorcycles and bikes like that with guitars and kind of metal or even rock. Did that kind of
Yeah, they quite matches. Yeah.
okay? Yeah,
And in years later, I discovered progressive metal and progressive rock, and that was the explosion. I can say it was the starting of everything.
that's really cool. Okay, so when did composition come into your scope of wanting to start?
I started writing some piano pieces at 15. Then, and it was just like I was studying some quite easy piano pieces from pianists and composer we all know, like Minimalist and stuff like that. And then my question was, maybe I can do it too. And then I just started writing those tiny little pieces for piano. And then I found I had a classmate at the high school. He played violin, and I started writing a couple of pieces for piano and violin. And then progressive. I knew I knew progressive music, and then I started with all kind of stuff I could find on my writing program, which at that age was Guitar Pro, something we don't use in contemporary music, and it was really awful for what I need today. But at that stage, it was like an incredible resource for me.
Awesome. Talking about progressive and stuff like that, y'all need to take a listen to the podcast segment beforehand, as we're going to, as we're getting into Francesco's high school years. We're going to wrap up the segment as this natural pause took shape here and leads us right back into the podcast. But the progressiveness of Francesco's ideals and where it culminates today, he, as well as when we talked to Marina and Matteo about their new CD coming out the beginning of 2024, the progressiveness that Francesco has and showcased before this segment really offers players a whole new dynamic for that solo performance, literally solo performance. There's lots going on. I can't wait to see the progression within that system that he has patented and will be released soon enough. Again, those links will be listed below, and his channel and his website. For everyone that's watching this, thank you so much for your time and for your viewership. And thank you, Francesco Manenti, for starting your series out with us and being so willing and open about your experiences. It's really fantastic to bring two worlds that seemingly don't make sense together, and kind of a marriage of worlds in a way, to bring something new into our space.
Clearly it is a nice challenge, and it is you can't waste anything you experiment in life, so you have to take everything from everything and just put it together, because everything potentially can match, and it's your DNA. So you acquire methods from different disciplines, and also from something you just didn't think of. And with my composition teacher, we talk about a mixed technique, a sort of a hybrid system, a hybrid method. You can really take everything from everything and put it in what you're good at, because your mind just can read everything you do and rematch in what you are looking for.
Absolutely. And with that being said, everybody, thank you so much. As we go into our follow-up segment, as those that have seen on previous episodes in series, can't wait for our next in series with Francesco, and especially with the upcoming CD launch that we've been anticipating for I've been anticipating for a couple months now. Again, thank you so much, everybody. Francesco, thank you so very much, sir.
Thank you too. It was really a pleasure.
Outstanding. Until next time, everyone, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.